Yep, I just finished Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the I feel like 100th time because I finished it before on when I got on PSP back in the day, but yep, I finished it here. But damn.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this game. God, I don't know. And here's the thing: I love Ratchet and Clank. I love like pretty much Size Matter. I had that, I think I had the original copy. I don't know where it is. It's probably mixed up somewhere in the storage of like some house because that was like probably like I don't know 15 houses ago. But for this game particularly, like it was my childhood. My pretty much the first game that I ever got when I first got my PSP, which I still have. And pretty much I still remember the visuals of just like playing it and how it wasn't really the most appealing, but it was still like something because it's Ratchet and Clank. It's pretty much like the last game that me and my dad played together, and it was it's kind of like when it's true to family of just like favorite games. Like this is kind of like the game that I always want to experience of just like all the titles again and again, and I will never get tired of it. But there's something about Size Matters where I'm like, it's short, it's not appealing, and there's just something about it where I'm like, it is hard, and it's also just like not the best, which makes sense. I guarantee that I wasn't really looking that forward to ever completing the game, and I just completed like another platformer that I pretty much played. But for this one, it's like what? No, just no, just no. I'm not gonna complete this. Doing the robot battles, doing the freaking racing, like arenas. Like I'm just like no, I can't do this because it's so different from the other games being the PS2 ones. But for this one, it's just like there's some stuff that they strip off where it doesn't really give that appeal of like it being, a perfect Ratchet and Clank game at all. I feel like it's so different from other actual games that I, enjoyed a lot, like Daxter or Clank, which, Clank coming soon. I'm going to review that at some point. But for this one, yeah, it's just I don't know. I am happy that I finished it. I don't think I ever really finished it or ever finished any Ratchet and Clank games. I always end up in the boss battles, and that was just it. But for this one, I completed it. And the story, well, boy. I'm about to get in some spoilers, but what? Like what? Like I heard of like Cork's parents. What happened? Are you like that's just it? And man, what he's going through, I like how he just flip a switch and is like, oh, I'm fine. Just like as in the credits, sharing stories about how famous the parents are or whatever, and how do you not know that? But it's like, what about the part where you missed them? Like that's kind of like depressing to think about, Just I don't know. I feel like this story was, like why? Like there was no point of it much. I don't know. I don't want to get mixed in with the story because I didn't really play Ratchet and Clank for the story itself, which I could have, especially back then. Nah, I didn't care. I only care about the gameplay, the weapons, which the weapons are not even that good. I feel like I still get killed here and there. There was this planet that I went to that was like going day and night in minutes, and it was a hard level, especially the last one, Cordronia. Like that one, I had a hard time really getting through the clones of my character being the Ratchet and Clanks in here and there, but man, for so much of like what this game could have done, it really doesn't do much for me compared to the PS2 games. But for this one, and I know that Size Matters is in PS2, but I'm not really looking forward to play it. And also, there was some stuff that was missing that game, particularly compared to this one. Yeah, and also like there was a part of me where I was really hoping that Cork would become an official team with Ratchet and Clank, with the Ultimate Musketeers, the Treeway, or maybe have like other whatever happened to the female characters, and also everyone else. Whatever happened to the sewer guy? Man, we could make a whole crew with all of them, which I guess they like there was like what's it, like Ratchet 3 or 4 or one of them that actually is qualified to be a team of, of the Ratchet and Clank squad or something. I don't know. I'm not in that part yet, though I did play that game because I played all the PS2, basically all the Ratchet and Clank games except for the PS3 ones and also the PS4 ones. And man, God, one day, Rift Apart. I'm just saying, one day, just I I really do want to play that one day. God, that will be a moment. But now, I really I only play like most of the PS2, and I kind of forget about the other ones. But that's gonna be a video coming up soon of me witnessing those games once again because I can feel them, I can remember them, and I'm like, oh boy. I can feel the nostalgia, and I think that's what's important about playing Size Matter is the nostalgia, like where I was playing the game. Shoot, I remember in the car waiting for my parents, doing groceries or whatever, and then I would just like, you know, I don't care how hot or cold in the car, I would just play my PSP, and I used to have this silver one, and I would just play it all day and just go through levels and go through rounds and just go around the world and just travel around the universe, and that's what I mostly enjoy. Especially, I didn't like much of like, right now with the power up levels and the arenas and the robot battles. But when I was a kid, I enjoyed the living crap out of those. I really did. And one thing I just realized, you have to play, like there were some certain characters from Ratchet and Clank 3, which I'm not there yet. Though I finished them, I didn't know that they were there. So I'm like, wait a minute. You have to go to Ratchet and Clank 3 to actually hit up Size Matters. If anything, I could have just finished all of them and just, finish all the PS2 games and then go to the PSP games. But, I'm disorganized with all of these, even though I already played them. But other than that, I finished it. I finished Size Matters. I finally saw the ending because I never really see the ending due to how freaking hard the boss battle is. Like, there was like several boss battles in that one boss battle. Like, for crying out loud. It could have ended. This is not a spoiler. It could have ended with freaking Clank clobbering him. That's it. It could have ended there. But instead, it had to keep going. Oh my God. Thank God for save states. Thank God for emulation. But, that it's still hard even with all that playing this, okay? There was a part where I was lost when actually I realized like, oh, you need a tool to actually get all the pieces to put in like Clank's head or something while in his brain. They did not really, good concept, but they did not really tackle that aspect of, that level very well. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to give this. I feel like it's a very like B minus or something in the freaking Ratchet and Clank scale, but that's just me. And listen, I can give my honest opinion about this game for sure, due to the fact that I've been, Ratchet and Clank is one of my most played games as a kid. So I'm judging it by that, But if you ask me as a kid, I probably would give it a 10 out of 10 because I was hugely in love with Ratchet and Clank, with all the PS2. It's like the moment that all of them, like, like Metal Gear, like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, just freaking Jack and even Jack and Daxter, all of them just alone. Like no wonder I just didn't touch Sonic for the longest time, and Sonic was literally my first ever games. I'm sharing a lot about my origin story, jeez Louise. But anyways, also another thing, it's funny how just Ratchet cares more about a massage than the freaking whole thing that just happened. It's like I gotta make it to my massage in Pakuatanu or whatever planet. And you know what? Shoot, anything else sounds better. A massage it is. Because I bet Ratchet was like, I need to get out of here. I need to go somewhere to be alone. And yeah, I don't blame him. Like the whole concept story was interesting, but it just seems like the characters were not themselves when going through all of this, like, shenanigans in the game. Sure enough, there was its own Clank level that was cool, and also Ratchet doing Ratchet things, just like, having certain guns, powering them up, and also collecting bolts. But it just doesn't seem fitting, and also the game was short, and there was lots of flaws. Still, nostalgic. Anyways, that's all. I don't know what to think about this, if you should play it or not. Definitely witness it, and if it gets hard, then hey, you know, don't worry about it. Because Clank, I don't even know if Clank is a better game. But anyways, if I were you, I would play the old PS2 Ratchet and Clanks. That's where the gold is at, you know. Anyways, I'm out in these streets. One love and a peace, and God bless.